Hello, welcome back to Cinders. We were just having a lovely conversation with Sophia, asking her about her life and stuff. It sounds to me like it's your turn to talk about your life. It's exactly what I just said. Well, there's not much to say. That can't be true. It's obvious that a lot happened to you and Gloria. You wouldn't be like this otherwise, you know. Complete and utter ass bags. Besides, you said you wanted a conversation, so tell me about yourself. Fine, but don't say I didn't warn you. When we were children, we lived out in the countryside. Our house wasn't as nice as this one, though. Our father was a military man. He got himself killed in some war, and that left Mother a widow. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't be. I hardly even saw the man. When he was around, he was like a complete stranger. Not a proper father at all. His death meant nothing to us. Why, you got your fist in the air. What about Carmosa? It must have affected her. Maybe that's why she's the way she is now. Was that supposed to be a joke? Mom didn't care about him any more than we did. Then why did she marry him? Well, why does anyone get married? I'm gonna say for many reasons, just because. For many reasons. There are a lot of reasons for people to get married. I don't think I can give one solid answer. Some do it to attain higher status or more riches. It's also a way to ensure you aren't alone when you're old. And sometimes love, or at least mutual respect, plays a role too. You're right. For instance, an ugly girl like me would only attract men looking for status. They would try to climb the social ladder using my back for rungs. Sophia, you're, got some problems, because you're quite pretty. I have nothing to say. Whatever. It was the opposite with Mother. She used her looks to attract a man of higher social standing. If you had a penchant for melodrama, you could say she climbed his dead body to be where she is now. Carmosa comes from a poor family. They had a title of nobility, but they lost most of their riches and splendor. The only way for her to advance up the social ladder was to marry, and she was ambitious. She married an officer who was relatively rich and had a lot of accolades. She probably planned ahead even there. She panned ahead as well. She was a gold miner. I also read, I try to read a little bit ahead as I'm going so that I don't stumble over the words as much as I would normally. And for some reason, by the time I was up to relatively rich and I was skimming the rest of the sentence, I thought accolades said chocolate. She married an officer who was relatively rich and had a lot of chocolate. That's how we made our money. It was chocolate related. Anyway. For all I know, she chose a man who would probably die in battle so she could marry even higher later. How can you say that? That's such a cruel assumption. Cruel? It's not like she killed him. He would have died anyway. She just wanted something more out of life. It's still a cold thing to do. Cold? Sure, it's cold. It's business. I don't see what's wrong with it. Mother's not dumb. She did what she had to. There's not much room in this world for women with ambitions, so you take what you can get. So back then, was your life as bad as it is now? Worse. What? How so? Well, you weren't around. ... Listen, if you're not around, who do you think becomes the victim? Mother's always needed a scapegoat, and Gloria would do anything to please that woman. I'm not as pretty, smart, or ambitious as them, so naturally she humiliated me, and Mom didn't disapprove. And now that I'm here, they no longer target you. Is that it? That's exactly it. Mom and Gloria have a new scapegoat, and my life is finally a little better. I put my fist in the air. Yeah, rah! I'm gonna shove this directly up your ass. Oh, I see. So now that you're no longer tormented, you choose to torment me instead. Of course, nothing personal, but it's either me or you, and I certainly won't be a victim again. Besides, you should be grateful. Didn't your father shield you from the real world too much? Well, now you get to see exactly what it's like. That's the way of all things. You're either the hunter or the prey. As long as Mother and Gloria focus on you, I can go back to being my own worthless self. You're not worthless. I like you best out of all the people in this game. Just listen to yourself. You're not worthless, ugly, stupid, or even cruel. My, and what has made you an expert all of a sudden? That's ridiculous. It's obvious the person you hate the most is yourself, but you have no reason to. So you make up all these excuses, like you're too stupid or ugly or worthless, when you know it's not true. But it's still an easy way out, isn't it? You prefer to convince yourself you're nothing so that nobody will expect anything more from you. You don't have to change or do anything if you're worthless after all. And you sound like you're trying to convince yourself that you're all-knowing. You're not worthless, Sophia. You know that. Put that fist down or I'll shove mine directly up your ass. It's almost endearing how hard you try to see good in other people, but you're just being naive. It's not naive at all. I was paying attention when you were talking and I learned something important. I'm trying to think of something better to say, but I can't. You think you're worthless because you can't measure up to Carmosa or Gloria, but it's the opposite. Carmosa is a woman of strong influence. It's easy to get drawn in and conform to what she wants. The fact that you've resisted means that you're stronger than Gloria. It means you're stronger than Carmosa. I'm sorry you had to suffer for it, but that makes you even more admirable. ... You really had it rough, and I know that left a mark on you, but it doesn't make you worthless. You know, I don't need your pity. Ha ha ha! Trust me, that's the last thing on my mind. You've still been absolutely horrid to me. But now that I know what happened to you, well, I just wish that you knew better. I've had enough of this. I've done enough work. You can handle the rest of the dinner, can't you? Well, you don't really have a choice. I'm leaving. Fine, have it your way. I'm gonna piss right into the bitch's ocular cavities, aka your dinner. For a girl who wastes her life away in the kitchen dreaming of better days, you sure can be self-righteous. And for a girl so cynical and angry with the world, you sure look a lot like a self-made victim. And I suppose that entire conversation between us was pointless. Good luck with the dinner. What is wrong with her? I can't believe we actually had that conversation. That was definitely unexpected. I think I need some time to think it over. The meal is nearly done anyway. All that's left is to get one of the servants to cook the rest right before it's served. I really need to get out and gather my thoughts. Everyone is busy, so I'm sure no one will notice if I sneak out. Here I go! I'm going directly to the pond! The main hallway is empty, no surprise there. As I thought, everyone is busy right now. I don't have much time before dinner, but I'm sure I could sneak out and be back in time. All that talk about my mother reminded me that I haven't been to her grave in a long time. It might be dangerous to sneak out during the day, but I don't know if I'll get another chance. I'll just have to move as quickly as I can. Guess we're going to the graveyard. Yeah, it's all that's open. I want to go to the forest. Scimitar. Hey, Mom! I don't even remember how long it's been since I last visited the cemetery. Mother's grave isn't hard to find. It's guarded by a statue of an angel crying gracefully. Father's idea. Looking at how much pain the angel is in, it's clear that Father took Mother's death very badly. I can't bring myself to look away from the statue. It's mesmerizing. I'm sorry, Father. The grave must be in terrible condition by now. I haven't had time to care for it. Wait, the grave is clean. Not just clean, but polished as well. Someone must be caring for it. Stay away from the grave! Who's there? I've had it with all you grave robbers! Folks like you have no shame! What are you talking about? I'm not a grave robber. Of course you aren't! And I'm the... Hold on! I know you! You're Carmosa's stepdaughter! I am. I suppose you know Carmosa? No, Carmosa? Of course not! But I sure know you! Well, I guess you have an advantage over me then. I have no idea who you are. You don't know? I live in the town! Folk there call me Madame Ghede! As in the witch that everyone talks about? So you have heard of me! The stories they tell are an exaggeration, no! Those half-wits label anything they don't understand as dangerous! Even more so, seeing as I'm a woman who's smarter than they are, I suppose it frightens them. Oh!